So the anticipation and the intensity increases once again thanks to the Junior Rotax drivers. That was a fantastic race. But let's have a look at our grid for Senior Rotax. No Clémentine Benoit, who has withdrawn officially. So here is your grid. Luca Leistra from Belgium will have Turkey's Erhard Turka alongside on the front row. Then it's Mike van Vught from the Netherlands and Sean Butcher from Great Britain. Milan Koppens and Drek Jansen on row number 3 with Sem van Til and Andreas Hebauer completing the top 4 rows. Jordi van der Eyck and Lars Zanen complete the top 10. Ahead of Pranger Jens, Arthur Hosch, who was the pole sitter and pre-final race victor yesterday. Followed by Vincent van Kerkhoven and Luna Blum, who complete row 7 with Jeff Machiels, Kobe de Bruyke, Victor Plateau, Bart de Wit, Jules Castro and Beer Doristin rounding out the top 20. Completing the 28 going into battle will be as follows. Maurice Schuring from 21st ahead of Bas Janssen, Scott Westhovens, Flint Schuring, Max Stemenik, Emily de Hoys, Calvin de Groot and Francis Leonie Claude completing the 28 strong that will go into battle. We are now on the official formation lap. 13 minutes set on the timer. And the red lights will very shortly be ignited on the starting gantry once again. So the only person compromised in qualifying was Vincent van Kerkhoven, who actually dropped 3 places as a result of a front-fairing penalty post-qualification, dropping the driver down from 10th to 13th. So Lars Zanen takes up that position on the top 10. So let's have a look and see how we get on. You thought the Junior Rotax drivers were going to bring the intensity. Now watch the fire and brimstone coming from Senior Rotax, one of my favourite classes within Rotax racing circles, and it always provides the biggest grids that we have normally on any domestic or international championship thereof. So top 10, it is Leistra, Turka, Van Vught, Butcher, Koppens, Janssen, Van Til, Hebauer, Van der Eyck and Zanen. They are all now getting themselves ready. Hold on to something, because the ride is going to be bumpy all the way through the next 13 minutes. Through the final corner they come. They start to split. They go into the tram lines. They put the accelerators down to the floor. It is lights out. We are off and away. And already Sean Butcher it looks like Erhard Turka tried to get into the lead and does so. Leistra trying to force the inside as it's nearly 3 abreast. Turka drops down into around about 4th or 5th position, but Sean Butcher challenging Leistra for the lead and gets it through turn 4. Nice work by Sean Butcher. Up from 4th to 1st by the end of the first half of the circuit here at karting Genk, as it's nearly 2-3 abreast coming through turn 6 for the first time. Field now makes its way down the Europalan, but Butcher gets ahead of Luca Leistra. I think Mike van Vught might be up into 3rd place. That is the case. I do recognise that the helmet livery he's got on there, but he is being challenged for 3rd position. And it could be the case that the Dutch driver, who is a multi-time Junior Rotax champion in a multitude of categories, has just been passed by Drek Jansen. Then it's Andreas Hebauer. Erhard Turka looks to be dropping a couple of places, and one of them that has just got past is the number 344 of Milan Koppens. Sem van Til, I think, has also made up a couple of positions as well. I'm just waiting as they turn past. Get past, it was Jordi van der Eyck in the 390 that got past Erhard Turka too, coming out of the final corner. Maurice Schuring has dropped all the way down to stone dead last. Oh, we've had a massive incident, and one driver has been pitched into a double spin, and that is the 383 of Vincent van Kerkhoven. The front Nassau askew to the right hand side. Driver looks in a bit of discomfort. Looks like we have got a yellow flag condition on Marshall Post 2 coming out of turn 3. And that is with 11 minutes and 16 seconds to go. Multiple people running to the scene at the minute. So looks like they've got the slow boards out, as they've now managed to pull Vincent van Kerkhoven to one side. There was another GKS kart involved, as now the 380 of Sem van Til just behind Milan Koppens, and it is a full course yellow called by race control. Could I ask that the driver number 299 Junior Rotax, 299 Junior Rotax plus entrant Christian de Klein plus entrant to report to the stewards immediately, please. So we have got a full course yellow, it looks like. A full course yellow. So just the drivers are slowing to a crawl at the moment. So Vincent van Kerkhoffen, I'm just keeping an eye on him at the moment. He's trying to get out of the kart. It's looking to be a little bit difficult. So full course yellow. It is a full course yellow here at Karting Genk, called by race control. A nasty incident. So the medical team now making their way on to assess the situation. So the drivers can only keep themselves composed. And it looks like Van Kerkhoffen is being assisted out of the kart. And we just wait to see the decision of race control. So Van Kerkhoffen has been lifted out of the kart with assistance. They're pulling the kart to one side. Medical team on site with the driver at the moment. So a full course yellow has been instigated at the circuit here at Karting Genk for the Senior Rotax pre-final. I will give you an update as soon as we hear anything. The medical team is on the scene. Good to see that Vincent van Kerkhoffen is standing up. So a full course yellow has been employed in the Senior Rotax pre-final. And the timer is still ticking down at the moment. But the biggest thing is that it's very, very nice to see Vincent van Kerkhoffen now walking, even despite being assisted, out of harm's way after a very, very hefty impact. So the timer has continued to count down. Now that we do have Vincent van Kerkhoffen off to safety, the kart has been pulled out of any potential danger. And it will be down to who gets the restart nailed perfectly. So drivers now heading towards turn number 12. They come out of the final corner. They're told to slow. Green flag waves, we're back underway. And Lystra leads as everyone starts going in to full throttle racing once again. Lystra leads going into turn 2 ahead of Sean Butcher, who's drawn on the back bumper of the 372 from Bouvin Power. Mike van Vugt in third place ahead of Derek Janssen, who rounds out the top 4. Milan Koppens in fifth place. They now go down the Europlan for the first time after the restart. We've got just over 4.5 minutes remaining in this race. Lystra leads, Butcher second, Van Vugt, Derek Janssen. Ehad Turker has now got past Milan Koppens, it looks like. And then also Sem Van Til was a little bit further behind. So green flags waving. It is well and truly back underway here in Senior Road Tax pre-final here on day 2. Van Vugt looking to close it up in on Butcher, goes up the inside of the Brit through turn 12. Butcher looking to try and make the switch back, but Van Vugt was very, very quick to nail the apex on the exit of turn 12. So Lystra now trying to break away from the likes of Van Vugt, from the likes of Butcher, who's now being pressurised by Derek Janssen, going in to turns 3, 4, now into the left at 5. Ehad Turker now bolts onto the back of this 4-cart train in the battle for second as Butcher goes up the inside of Van Vugt, who gets the switch back through turn 6. And then powers past as Derek Janssen gets compromised in some respects, and so Ehad Turker loses out a couple of positions. And I think you also got Sem Van... I'm just keeping an eye now. Luna Bloem has absolutely rocketed up the order as the 319 from the Netherlands. And is battling away, I think he's with Andreas Heber and the 321 from Dams Racing. And we've got a black and white warning flag for the 397 of Lars Zanen. So whether that was the other cart that was involved, I'm not too sure. But the lead now is in the hands of Luca Lystra by over 7.5 tenths of a second, as we've got an absolute melee heading into turn 2. And that is being led by Artur Horsch in the 337. Who's down in 12th position, is now up the inside, tries to go Jules Castro, and that allows Victor Plateau, I think, has just springboarded past the pair of them in the process. So at the minute, Van Vugt now needs to start fighting back, and being ahead of Sean Butcher will close the gap in terms of points. Butcher came into this at the halfway point of the season on 102 points, whereas Mike van Vugt had 78 by my calculations, putting him 24 at a 24-point deficit. But this will bring it back to 20, depending on whether Van Vugt can stay ahead of Sean Butcher. So at the minute, as they cross the line, we have completed 9 laps of this race, despite the lengthy full course yellow after the incident involving Vincent van Kerkhoffen required the medical team to come on site. Sean Butcher now past Mike van Vugt, so this will extend the gap further to around about 28 points. Milan Koppens, however, thinks otherwise and gets past Van Vugt. So Van Vugt now drops to 4th, and that really does not give him any opportunity when he's got to try and fight back now, as Van Vugt had a difficult day yesterday, scored 8 points in the pre-final and scored nothing in the final. So Van Vugt really on the trying to get back on the comeback trail, become the comeback kid, if you will. The 16-year-old based out of Voxemen in the Netherlands, a 2-time Rotax Max Euro Trophy champion, the only driver in that championship to successfully defend a title. He's also won BNL Karting Series titles as a junior, corner karting as well, amongst many of the Rotax Max Challenger championships that happen across the globe. But look at Lystra, looking very racy, but is trying to break away from Sean Butcher, who has gone 2 tenths of a second quicker in the previous lap. As now some of the drivers battling their way up and down the field. Maurice Schuring trying to get stuck in and is actually all the way down in around 22nd place, battling away with the likes of Francis Leonie Claude, who normally runs in the NSK, the National Series de Karting, over in France. Who's also competed quite recently at the second round of the Rotax Max Euro Trophy Championship that took place 4 weeks ago at Wackersdorf. So Van Vliet looking to try and close on Milan Koppens, but had a bit of a difficult lap as the 390 of Jordi van der Eyck is closing on France's Andreas Herbert in the battle for 9th place. So we go on to the penultimate lap as now up the inside of Milan Koppens goes Mike Van Vliet for 3rd, but just behind them, watch out for Sam Van Thiel. So Van Thiel has started to close and has started setting personal bests, and that time put in a 55.590. Victor Plateau in the 350, however, is the one that has been the fastest out of anybody, and after the completion of lap 10, the 11th place driver who's trying to close up in on Jordi van der Eyck, who rounds out the top 10, put in a 55.440 and is nearly 1.3 seconds adrift. As now we head back to the drivers battling over 3rd position, as now Sam Van Thiel joins Mike Van Vliet in 4th and Milan Koppens in 3rd place. As now Sean Butcher looks to try and do what he can to try and get past as Van Vliet gets past Milan Koppens, who gets the inside run, and up the inside of Mike Van Vliet goes Sam Van Thiel, who's going to try and challenge Milan Koppens in towards turns 1 and 2, and he gets up the inside. Van Vliet trying to go through on the 344 and also gets past. So Milan Koppens, in the case of a straightaway in a couple of corners, goes down from 3rd to 5th, and watch out behind because Ehad Turka in the 309 is going to go banzang up the inside. Oh, hits the side pod on the right hand side of Milan Koppens, which puts the Belgians sideways. Massive opposite lock correction there for Milan Koppens going through into turn 6. So Turka quite clearly went for it, and now that has put Milan Koppens in the clutches of Luna Blum, of all people. Luna Blum started 14th, as now Sam Van Thiel keeps ahead of Mike Van Vliet for the moment. As now we are very, very close, I think possibly to end proceedings, as Luca Lystra takes the win ahead of Sean Butcher, and the gap was 0.617 at the flag. Van Vliet takes 3rd. Damage limitation for the young Dutchman behind Sean Butcher. Van Thiel takes 4th ahead of Turka, Koppens, Luna Blum, Derek Janssen, Jordi van der Eyck and France's Andreas Herbert rounds out the top 10. Victor Plateau in 11th ahead of Jules Castro. Emily de Hoys made it all the way from 26th position to finish 13th. That's a great work, great amount of work from the Dutch JJ Racing Place driver, with Jeff Machiels and Bart de Wit rounding out the top 15, who will provisionally score points. Then from 16th downwards, it's Flint Schuring, Beer Dorrestein, Max Demmerdink, Scott Westhovens, Arthur Horsch, Maurice Schuring, Leonie Claude, Bas Janssen, Kobe de Bruyke, Calvin de Groot, Plange Jens, Lars Zanen retired on lap number 9, and on lap 2, Vincent van Kerkhoffen suffering a nasty incident, which means that the kart will be recovered. Recovery currently underway, but what a drive by Luca Lystra to keep Sean Butcher et al. Behind to take the win in Senior Road Tax pre-final here on day 2.